Pause. Yes, sir. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, okay. Alexa, go.
We won't start the show till
7. Right. Come on in. Come on in. What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Ask Ashley, here with another dope episode of Monday Night Juice. So, tonight, we're going to get really personal. I mean, we be getting personal anyway, but I'm tired. I'm very tired and I'm very exhausted. And I figure if I'm this tired and I'm this exhausted, then somebody else is just as tired and just as exhausted. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time. We are actually live tonight, okay? So I'm here in the comment section. I want you guys to go ahead and let me know that you're here. And we are going to go ahead and get started here momentarily. I always got to give a shout out to the sponsor of tonight's show, which is, of course, again, Fem Porter. Wait, where my P at? Fem Porter. Okay, go ahead and check my girl Nikki out at www.femporterstore.com. Or if you're in the greater Cincinnati area, you can go ahead and visit her at 1617 West Galbraith Road. But yeah, I want you guys to come in, check it out. We doing a mental health check-in today. That's absolutely what we're doing. So, hey Mary, what's going on, honey? Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Let's see. And I'm not going to be on my phone. I promise the whole time. I promise y'all I'm not going to be on my phone. But I need to have this mental health check-in. I want to see how you guys are doing. I want to see how y'all feeling. How are y'all coping with the outcome of Breonna Taylor? And I know we have to do this. I feel like we have to do this like once a month, right? We have to do this check-in once a month because yet again somebody else has been taken from us, or somebody else has been murdered, or somebody else has been assaulted, or something wrong has been done to people of color. So I want to see how y'all dealing with it. I want to see how y'all are helping your families get through it. So I had a conversation with my son recently. It was actually today. I had a conversation with my baby, and it really, I'm sorry, because I promised myself I wasn't going to cry tonight. Y'all know I'm a sucker, and I do have my tears. I have my little sucker tear moments. I'm a gangster for real, but I have my sucker tear moments. But anyway, so I had a conversation with my son, and it broke my heart hearing my baby tell me how terrified he is at times to walk across the street into our complex off the bus because a police officer may see him walking through the pathway trail and think that he's up to something. But like I explained to him, that's the ugly reality that we are in, and that's nothing that can really be done about that. So with the Breonna Taylor case that just came out, you know, we sat down as a family, we talked about it, and let me be very clear. The outcome was not a shocker. The outcome is just another gut punch that makes me tired. The outcome is another slap in the face that makes me realize. It's just a constant thing that we constantly are going through, and it's making me exhausted. So I really, really want to hear from you guys, and I want to see if you guys are just as tired as I am. So, in the midst of all of this, this tiredness, I'm understanding the reality of Black trauma. And we kind of talked about this before, right? So like Black trauma is, the best way for me to describe it is the way our mental health and our physical health deal with racism on a daily basis. Whether this is racism through law enforcement, racism through jobs, racism through state government officials, assistants, all of that. Like, it's a constant reminder and situation that we have to go through over and over and over again, right? That is, hey Becky, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Mary again, Eileen, Josiah, Crystal, thank you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout you guys out and say thank you for taking the time to tune in, but I'm just, again, I'm tired. So we have situations where, you know, everything that's been done to us has been done forever. It's just that now we get to see it more often, and it's like embedded in us. It's on social media. It's in independent media like this show. It's on media, CNN and New York Times. It's all over the place. We have had to constantly hear Eric Gardner's cries of not being able to breathe. We have to constantly see George Floyd yell out for his mom and have a knee on his neck for 8 minutes. We had to see Ahmaud Arbery fight for his life just because he was jogging. Now we have to endure the fact that Breonna Taylor was, you know, killed in her sleep. All of these things, and continuously seeing them repetitively over and over and over again, is Black trauma. Black trauma transitions into, let me see, how can I say this? Black trauma transitions into like PTSD. Consider it like that. PTSD, right? PTSD deals with things like feeling hopeless, fatigue, depression, anxiety. These are the things that we are going through constantly. And, you know, I had Jamie on the show last week. Shout out to Jamie Fields Colvin, who opened up the community urgent care community plus over here in Western Hills. And we talked about the importance of taking care of yourself. And I know that's got to be like the corniest thing that somebody can say to you when it comes to dealing with what we're going through right now. But the reality is, like, that is exactly what we have to do. That is exactly what we have to do. We have to get into a better position where we are taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, because this shit is not going to stop. And until we get into a better space where we are taking care of ourselves, like, it will continue to break us down. Me and my girls, we go for a walk on Sundays now, right? Over here at Alt Park. Absolutely love Alt Park. Beautiful scene. It's beautiful. And two of us were talking about how good it makes us feel when we leave, because the week has been so stressful. The past week has been so stressful, and then the week that we have to face is about to be stressful. You have to get into a better space where you are taking care of yourself. Hey, Sasha, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. You guys that are also tuning in, please make sure you share the show. Because like I said, I definitely want to have this mental health check, because I am tired, and I know that you guys have to be tired too. But yeah, so you have to get into a better position where you are taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself looks like being active. It looks like going on a walk for 15 minutes, going on a walk for 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. It looks like meditating. It looks like yoga. It looks like going to the gym. It looks like eating better. It looks like all of those things that sometimes we know we need to be doing, but we're actually not doing at all. Like, that's the first way to deal with Black trauma that doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It's all about the accountability that you're going to put into yourself, right? I think that if you have not, I know for me, I have reached that point where I have no expectation out of getting justice from a group of individuals who never intended to give it in the first place. It's really sad. It's really messed up, but that's the reality of which we live in. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not saying give up. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the first step to dealing and coping on a day-to-day basis with the crap that's loaded onto our plate every day by seeing these murders happen on a regular basis is to be active and take care of yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually. If religion is your thing, dig deep into that. If yoga, meditation, and law of attraction is your thing, dig deep into that. Find ways to elevate your vibration higher on your own, whatever that looks like for you. I'm not saying you have to do exactly what I do, which again, my thing is yoga, my thing is meditation, my thing is walks, my thing is prayer. Those things elevate my vibration. But whatever you know that you need to do for you, that is your preference, your cup of tea, do that. Because now is the time to get your mind right so that we can be focused. The next step after getting your mind right, taking care of yourself, making sure that you're healthy, making sure that you elevate your vibration, is to educate yourself. And educate yourself in the areas, let me just say this. Educate yourself in the areas that you are passionate about, right? So sometimes I have people that want to come on the show that are into politics. I'm not really into politics. I will be honest with you about that. I feel very indifferent about a lot of things, so I don't talk about politics with everybody, right? If voting and voter registration and going to the polls, if these are the things that you're passionate about, educate yourself so much that when it comes to the Black community, you can educate us. You can educate the people that are around you. If politics is not your thing, maybe agricultural, growing food and things like that. Like if that's your thing, then educate yourself on that. But whatever it is that you're passionate about, educate yourself so that in turn you can bring that back to the Black community. Because I have reached the point for me, and again, we're talking about me, and I want to hear from y'all too and see how y'all feeling. Hey, Dewan, Tanya, thank you guys for taking the time to tune in. Please make sure you share the show. San, I see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to see in. But for me, I have reached this point, and let me be very clear, because I mean no disrespect to anybody that values the life of a Black individual. I mean no disrespect to anyone that respects our lives, that respects the fact that we are human, that respects the fact that we are people and that we have hearts and we have lives and we have families and we have jobs and we have children and we have responsibilities and we just trying to make it every single day. This is no shade to anybody that respects that, but I have absolutely had it to the point where coexisting is not mandatory for me anymore. I just recently, a friend of mine shared this Tyler Perry video with me. It was a wonderful interview, and Tyler Perry talked about the importance of Black people needing to own their own shit. That is where I've reached. I've reached the point where let me get my mind right, let me elevate myself higher, and from elevating myself higher, let me educate myself and educate my children, because the change that I want to see, I probably won't see that. It probably won't happen within my time period. But if it happens for my children, or it happens for my grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren and my great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren, then I'm cool with that. But we have to get to a point where all of the ignorance that was taken from us, we have to hold ourselves accountable to getting that back. You know, we had Black Wall Street at one point or another. Hey, Natalia, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I'm shouting y'all out as y'all coming in because I want y'all to know I legitimately want to know how y'all doing. When I say this is a mental health check-in, I mean this is a mental health check-in. But I've gotten to the point where I understand that I don't know everything, but we cannot continue to shoot ourselves in the foot and say, well, this was taken from us, so we don't know. We don't know our history. We don't know this. We don't know that. Okay, well, educate yourself. Educate yourself. And educating yourself does not always look like going to college. I'll be the first to say I tried college a couple times, didn't like it, wasn't a fan of it, okay? But I created my own lane. Black people, we are brilliant. We are innovators. We are creators. There is so much that has advanced in this time period in which we live in that there is absolutely no reason why we're not making it. And it's because we keep trying to make it and coexist with a group of individuals that have no intention on letting us in that room. We keep talking about how certain conversations need to happen and we need to be a part of those conversations. And I'm at the point where I don't want to sit at that table. Stop trying to get the desires and the approval from a group of individuals who aren't willing to let you sit at the table. Make your own damn table. Back down in Georgia, there is two ladies, what is their name? Ashlee Scott and Renee Walter, who, a realtor, and I forgot the other thing that Renee is, so I apologize for that. But they got 19 black families. And all of these families went and purchased almost 100 acres of land for $1.6 million. With the intent not to segregate anybody out, okay? But to have a safe haven for black families and black individuals. We have got to get to a point where we have our own. It's just gotten there. It's gotten there. And again, when I say educate yourself and get involved in the things that you are passionate about, if politics is what you're passionate about, get so embedded and so deep into that once you get in there, don't let them scare you or push you to do something that you know is wrong. Like, we talk about families, right? We talk about generational curses, and we talk about generational wealth, and we talk about how, a group of Asians, the way that they go about handling business and taking care of their families. We talk about a group of Mexicans or Hispanics that go about taking care of their families. And I know for me, I've seen a group of Mexicans or a group of Hispanics who literally will all live in the same house together just to make it so that these 3 or 4 years that we have to sacrifice living on top of each other, each one of us will have a house that's on the same strip. Like, that's the mentality that they have, and that's the mentality that we have to have. It's not about excluding anybody. It's about finally coming together on a unified front for us, because we keep demanding something that we're just not going to get from the people that we want it from. And that's just the reality of it. And I know that because I'm tired as hell, and I didn't have to go through nearly half of what my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-great aunties and uncles and cousins, and I didn't have to go through what they went through. But they had to go about things a certain way just so I can have the pleasures that I have today, which means I'm going to have to go about things a certain way so that my children and my children's children can have things a certain way themselves. Shout out to Nate. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to tune in. Dominique Green, I see you. Septian Johnson, shout out to you. I see you. Sheetamo versus Dada, I see you. Thank you guys again for taking the time to tune in. But that is like the most important things. It is time to get so. Black women are the leading degree holders around the world, especially in America. In America, for sure. Leading. I have a sister who is really involved. She's really involved into the community, right? It's something that she really prides herself on. And we were talking earlier, and she's like, I absolutely want to be in a position where I can learn as much as possible so that I can make sure I give that type of knowledge to my people. And I'm not saying, let me say this too, because I know I ruffled a little feathers. I know I ruffled a couple feathers yesterday. Hey, is it Shasha? Hey, baby, thank you for taking the time to tune in. I know I ruffled a couple feathers yesterday. I made a comment and I said, black businesses have to do better, right? I love black-owned businesses. I really, really do. Film Porter, Easily Blessed, Monday Night Juice, Christina Cookie Davis, Pure Beauty, Black-owned Boys. I love black-owned businesses. Mercaville Trade, shout out to Merc. I absolutely love Merc. He be hustling. My boy Vernon, like, I love black entrepreneurs. I love black-owned businesses. I love black innovators. I love black creators. I love us. But when you have a black-owned business, for me, I have a higher expectation of you. The same expectation that I have of my children, because I want them to be great, because I want them to succeed. As a black customer, a consumer, and a business owner, the expectation is higher because I want you to be great. I want you to excel. I want you to succeed. And if I come to you and I say these things are not right, get them right. Stop taking it as oh, you coming for me. Nobody's coming for you, baby. I want you to excel. I want you to grow. I want you to be better. Because the reality is, once the shit hits the fan, we're going to need each other. And we have to come together. We have to be united. But we cannot continue to experience the black trauma and then smile and go to work and act like it's okay. You got to be in the background, and you got to be educating yourself, and you got to be educating your children so that we can provide something better. There's absolutely no reason why those 19 families in Georgia, about 100 acres of land, and nobody else is doing it. That should be happening in every single state in America at this point. We should all be that damn tired to where we are all collectively coming together and buying our own. Buying our own, owning our own, creating our own, all of that. And guess what? We've done that before, right? History shows, and it repeats itself. We had Black Wall Street. Yes, I know. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, if they burn it down, damn it, we will build it again. And we'll build it again, and we'll build it again. Because we have a certain level of resilience that they would never have. And when I say they, I don't mean specific groups of people. I mean those that can't stand us. Those that can't take our existence. Those that are intimidated and in fear and are ignorant enough to have an issue with us just because of the color of our skin. That is who I'm referring to. That's who I'm referring to. So you have to get to the point where, like, I am done trying to go above and beyond to coexist with a group of individuals that don't want to coexist with me. That's fine. But I want to own now. I want to own the land. I want to own the street. I want to own the deeds to the homes. I want to own, because I don't want to keep having to go to them to ask for nothing. We've got black-owned banks, black grocery stores, but I want to own. And when I own, I want to see black police forces and officers that have their own. I want to see our own. OWN, our own. And again, it's not to exclude anybody. It is for the safety of us, because that's damn near the only way we're going to get it. I don't want to hear about black on black crime. I don't want to hear about that. Because some things have to be dealt with in the home. Some things got to be dealt with in the home. And I'm not going into who's bad mama or bad daddy, or whose daddy ain't around and whose mama didn't love them enough. I'm not going into all that. That's another show for another day. Some things got to be dealt with at home. But overall, it's time to educate, and it's time to uplift and to motivate us on our own. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Our own. I want to learn. I don't know how to plant vegetables and things like that. I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to do that so I don't have to keep going and dealing with, if I went to a Kroger and I wasn't happy about the service, but I know that the black Krogers ain't black owned, so if I don't want to go there, I don't have to, because I know how to grow my stuff at home. I want to learn how to do these things so that I can make a better future for my children and my children's children, because I'm telling you, the change that I want to see, I probably ain't going to see within my lifetime. Like, my ancestors didn't get to see this. They didn't get to see me sit in this chair and come to you live and be able to speak the way I want to speak without a white man kicking down my door, or not even a white man. Anybody that has a issue with my color, without anybody kicking the door down and cutting me off and shutting me down. My ancestors didn't get to see that. But they didn't stop working towards that collective and that advancement on my behalf because they wasn't going to get to see it. So what I'm saying is, we got to get to a point now where we again educate ourselves, and we again better ourselves and get into that position of advancement, even if it's not for us right now today, if it's for our kids, our children, and our children's children. That's just the point. That's where we at. And like I said, I'm so tired. I want to shout out really quick my makeup artist, because she's not feeling that great. So she didn't even get to doll me up. And I wasn't even mad about that, because I'm like, as tired as I am, I'm going to look that damn tired. I am going to look as tired as I am. I am tired of having conversations. I'm tired of being a black woman who is passionate, who is powerful, who speaks with her hands, and is seen as intimidating because I do that. Or because when I talk, I like to roll my neck and my body moves with it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of the same conversations. I am beyond freaking tired. And the reality is, even with how tired I am, I cannot stop having these conversations. I can't stop because it's going to impact somebody one day, and even if it doesn't, it impacts my children. I have to have this conversation. I asked my son today. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the mom who had to pretty much and I'm not even mad at this mom. She pretty much protected her son, who's 19 years old. He was getting pulled over for going through a stop sign. You know, the police officer, she had his license and registration, but she still wanted to talk to the son, and the mom is like, absolutely not. He's never dealt with the police before. So I had to have this conversation with my son, and I said, do you know how to deal with the police if you were ever encountered by them? Because realize I have a 13-year-old, but my 13-year-old was once 12, and so was Tamir Rice. So do you know how to interact with police officers if they approach you? And he said, well, I know that I'm supposed to remain calm at all times. I know not to look too aggressive. I know not to stand too tall, too proud. And this is coming from my 13-year-old boy. My 13-year-old baby. My baby, who is seen as a threat by someone already because he is black and because he is a male. He says, I know not to make any sudden moves. I know if they tell me to do something, And then I reiterated to him, because you got to be real with the kids these days, right? I reiterated to him, compliance does not always mean you're going to come home. But compliance is the route to go. Compliance is the route to go because you cannot fight them on the street. You got to fight them in court. I know you guys may have seen recently there was a young man who was a hotel worker in, Tempe, Arizona. And there was a white couple who was refusing to leave the hotel. The police officer showed up. The management said, I have a video of the white couple. The police officer said, I don't need to see that. He then saw the white couple, instructed the white couple to go somewhere safe because he's looking for a suspect, not suspects, but a suspect, and went to the black worker of the hotel. And instead of arguing and fighting and going off with them, he didn't do any of that. He complied. He went to, jail or whatever, got out, or didn't really go to jail yet, but he dealt with that in the manner that he had to deal with that in, but then he went and he took it to court. $2.5 million lawsuit on their hands right now. Take their money. Make them pay for it. But don't sit up there and try to fight with them in the middle of the street. And again, compliance is not always going to mean you come home. And I hate that I even had to have that conversation with my son. But I have to if I want him to come home to me. I have to have that conversation with my daughter if I want her to come home to me. If I don't want her to be a Sandra Bland, I have to have that conversation. Baby, I know we're passionate. We talk loud. We speak with our hands. Those things intimidate people. And the reality of it is, yeah, it's their problem, but it's ours too. It's our problem too, because when we are interacting with them and they are the ones with the guns, we just got to get home. We just got to get home. So I'm going to go back to what I said, and then I'm going to let y'all go because, again, I'm tired, and I didn't want to get too into this conversation tonight because I really needed I really need a mental break. I really, really need a mental break. But I got dope people who love me, who support me, who push me, and they like, Ashlee, you got to talk. And I was in tears, man. I'm like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk tonight. I don't want to open up. And as much as I don't want to, I know that it's something that we have to do. I know that it's something that's needed. I know that it's important. And my babies look up to me for it. My babies sit at home and try to log onto my stuff, and they be like, oh, Mom, we watched you. Mom, we saw you. Right before I walked out the door, they both came and gave me a kiss, and they were like, Mommy, we love you. It's going to be okay. Even if you got to cry on the show, just go ahead and cry. I'm like, I ain't crying tonight. And they're like, but if you got to cry, it's okay. So I'm just saying, be in a better position to take care of yourself. What you can do today is take care of you, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Go for your walks, do your prayer, attend your church if that is your thing, do your meditation, go out when it's a full moon, get your crystals, baby. However you raise your vibration and get your mind right, do that. And then after you do that, on your day-to-day interactions, educate yourself along the way. If college is not your thing, I'm not knocking you, baby, because it wasn't mine either. But educating yourself looks like picking up a book. Y'all know that saying that they used to say, if you don't want a nigga to know nothing, put it in a book. Pick up a book and educate yourself. And then after you've educated yourself, apply what you know and the knowledge that you have to whatever position that is passionate to you, right? Find out what's passionate to you. Educate yourself on that. Become an expert in that. And then bring it on back so that we can know, so that we can educate ourselves, so that we can continue to advance. Because I'm telling you, the type of change that we want to see, it'll happen gradually, it'll happen slowly, it'll keep happening, but we might be gone by the time it's all said and done. But as long as that change is available to my children and my children's children, then I am happy. And I am okay with that. And I can rest with that in mind. I'm tired today. Tomorrow I'll get up. I'll sage my home. I'll do my yoga. I'll put on my Jill Scott. I'll say my prayer. I'll walk out the door. I'll go do my job, and I will educate myself. On my break, I'll walk and I'll educate myself. On my way home, I'll listen to a podcast and I'll educate myself. When I get home and I help my children with their after-school learning, or I get my daughter to practice, or I go work out with my son and I go for a walk with him, I'll educate myself in between that. That is the goal. That is what you need to be doing right now, is absolutely educating yourself. So I absolutely love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for taking the time to tune in with me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm tired, so I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'm Ask Ashlee. Thank you for tuning in to another dope episode of Monday Night Juice, and I will see you all next week.